So I have built the ultimate adventure bike, the go anywhere, do anything, one tool is all you need adventure bike out of my KTM 890 Adventure R. And what better place to test it than here in the San Juan Mountains of Colorado. Today I'm going to be riding the Alpine Loop. I just got to the top of Corkscrew and I'm going to be going over Hurricane Pass, California Pass, Cinnamon Pass, down into Lake City, and then coming around from Lake City over Engineer Pass and then down into Ouray. Okay, so this is the 890 Adventure R that I bought about 2 years ago. When I bought the Adventure R, I decided to buy this one over the Rally because in my estimation, I couldn't ride well enough to justify the extra cost of purchasing the Rally. What I found out quickly after riding this bike is that it is so capable and so fun that I did need the extra suspension, the premium suspension that the Rally gives you. So what I did is I went to MX Tech and I bought their National Shock, and I put a set of the Lucky Rally length cartridges. So basically I now have 170 millimeters of travel, the same as the Rally Edition, with 12 full inches of clearance. This thing has so much clearance, it's incredible. I can go over just about anything I'm going to run into out in the field. So now the MX Tech suspension is so premium. I got to tell you, I loved working with these guys. I went on MX Tech, I ordered the stuff that I wanted. About an hour later, I got a call from Adam who wanted to discuss with me what I was going to be doing with the bike, what I was looking for out of the suspension. We talked about my height, my weight, and all that stuff. And then that gave him all the info that he needed to put the cartridges together for me and the shock. Now the shock came ready to install. The only caveat I'll say is with the shock, they are working on a prototype, but right now the National Shock only fits on the 890s that have been outfitted with the Rottweiler performance intake system, which, as it were, I had just purchased one of those as well, but we'll talk about that here in a few minutes. So the MX Tech National Shock is fully adjustable. Not only does it have rebound and compression, but up here on the top of the shock, it has a high speed and low speed compression, separate adjustments that you can fine tune as well. And as you can see here, it also has a preload adjuster on it. So if you're going to be running bags, have a passenger, what have you, you can adjust the preload from there. Now the Lucky cartridge, man, is it smooth. It is fully adjustable. Also, these are an open circuit cartridge. It has compression and rebound on both left and right forks, so they are incredibly adjustable. They also have on the top, there's a nut to adjust preload. Again, like I said, Adam at MX Tech, he built these shocks to my specifications. I dropped them in. I've been riding for about a half an hour today, and so far they are perfectly dialed in. I haven't had to make any adjustments, but we'll see how that goes by the end of the day. So MX Tech, awesome stuff. I really love them. So as I mentioned already, I did put the Rottweiler performance intake in here as well. If you go to Rottweiler's site, they show their dyno results that say that you get 8 to 10 horsepower to the rear wheel just by putting in the performance intake without any other modifications. Now, if you do the math, that's more than 10% horsepower increase just by dropping in the performance intake. I bought the carbon fiber. You can't see it at all, but it does look nicer, and it's carbon fiber, right? It's a little bit lighter, so I went with that. You can get the plastic molded one too, but I just went with the carbon fiber one. Well worth the performance gain you get out of it. So I think it was like $500, maybe close to $600, but to get an extra 10 horsepower and the low end performance is just fantastic with this thing. To couple with that, I also sent my ECU off to Jordan at TuneLogic USA. Jordan used to work for Rottweiler Performance, so he is super knowledgeable on the KTM's He started his own business, went his own way doing tuning now. I shipped him off my ECU. He got it, and the very next day it was back in the mail to me. It has cleared up all of the typical problems you hear with the KTM. The hard start, gone. Quick shifter issues, gone. It starts up like a dream every time. He also adjusted it so that the fan kicks on a little bit earlier, so when it's running hot, the fan will kick on and cool it down. All right, and as you can see, I opted to go ahead and purchase the rally seat for the bike. I know. I pretty much have a rally now. I should have just bought the rally in the first place and saved the time and effort. But to be honest, I love working on stuff, so I'm glad that I did that. Um, but this seat is so much better than the Adventure R stock seat. Oh my God, it's so much better. It is taller. I'm 6'4", and I'm gonna tell you, I cannot put my feet flat on the ground on this bike. Um, but it does give you a much better gripping surface for your knees while you're riding over rough terrain, stuff like that. Very great piece of equipment. I bought it from KTM Power Sports, and I really love this seat. Okay, so the last of the power performance parts I put on, kind of going backwards here, but when I bought this bike, before I even got it home, I had already had a cat delete from Aero and the slip-on exhaust as well. So I brought it home, put it in the garage, ripped out the cat, put the delete on there and the Aero slip-on. It sounds fantastic. It doesn't maybe sound as good as the Akrapovic, but I don't know. I think maybe it does. Does it get any better or worse performance? I don't think so. But I really like the Aero, the look of the Aero, and I love the sound of it, especially with this parallel twin motor. It just sounds bitchin'. Thanks. Okay, so here is a point of contention for a lot of people, the skid plate. I did opt to get rid of the factory skid plate and put a KTM Twins heavy-duty aluminum skid plate on there. Um, some people don't think it's really all that necessary if you know how to ride, I guess. I tend to be kind of hard on my stuff. I wanted a little bit more protection for the bottom of the bike. And also, of course, you have your fuel lines right up front. You have your oil cooler lines, all that stuff. So I opted to get a heavy duty piece of equipment to protect the bike. I've also put a set of Fastway foot pegs on there. Again, I'm a taller rider. So these foot pegs are adjustable. I have them down, down 20 millimeters and rearward 20 millimeters, give it a little bit of extra room in the cockpit there for me. And I'm really happy with them. They have great grip. They're very wide, they're very long. So you have really good stable platform with those. What else? Obviously, the double take mirrors. If you're an adventure rider, you have double take mirrors. That's just how it is, right? So that red light that you see right there, that is a blind spot indicator. So this is a dash cam and blind spot indicator system from Inov that I installed on the bike a little bit ago, and I didn't think it was going to be as good as it is. But back here in the back, you have not only your rear camera, but you have a little radar on there that that detects vehicles coming up on the bike, whether it's the right side or the left side. When they get near, this will come on just like your car rear or side view mirror. I have a rear camera and a front camera, and not only are they dash cams, but they actually film in 2K instead of most, which are 1080p. So having 2K is way better. It also has a G-Shock sensor so that if I was to get hit or go down, it locks the footage so you don't lose that footage later. If you need to go into litigation in court, if somebody hits you or something like that, you've got the proof. Thanks. All right, and then really the last mod that I put on this that I'll talk about is I put the Camel ADV one finger clutch lever on here, because when you're riding up here in these hills and you're doing tight switchbacks and you've got to shift a lot, that one finger clutch takes a lot of pressure off of your forearm and your fingers. It's been a really great piece of equipment. The one thing I'll say is when you first install it, and I've had many people say the same thing. When I first installed this, it was slipping a lot. I'd use the clutch 4, 5, 10 times and it would start to come loose. I really had to crank down on that lever. I think if you were to put maybe a piece of emery cloth around the actuator bar on the clutch bar and then slide the Camel clutch lever on there and tighten it down, might clear that up a little bit. But since I fixed the problem over 3,000 miles ago, I have not had any issues with it since. The other thing I run is I have a Garmin GPS here. I'm not going to go into that much because everybody's got their favorites with GPS, but I do have this wired into the battery so that I don't have to worry about it dying on me while I'm out riding. KTMs are really nice because they have both in the front and in the back an accessory line that you can tap into to run any sort of powered equipment that you're going to run. All right, so now that we've discussed all the stuff on the bike, we're going to take it out, ride it through these hills for a couple of days, and at the end we'll give a good wrap up of what I think of all the mods, and let's go have some fun. All right, so we are about 20 miles into the Alpine Loop right now. I'm at the Animas Forks ghost town. So far the 890 has just been awesome, man. So planted with that new suspension, the extra travel. I don't have to worry about any of the stuff that I'm hitting. And you know, the thing about extra travel or good suspension, it's not just so much the travel, it's the way it handles the bumps, right? And the predictability of the rebound and the compression and all that. And right now, I can't be happier with it. It's doing so great. I have to admit, I'm not quite comfortable with the bike yet because I had to replace the brake lines. I had to, you know, put new suspension and all that stuff. So I'm still getting comfortable and confident that it's not going to break, that I didn't do something wrong. But so far, I got no reason to worry. It's been absolutely great. Good God, man. Who wouldn't love to ride out here? This is just amazing. So this looks like it was probably an old schoolhouse or something. It's all boarded up now and all that, but I have a loft up here. What a place, man. What a place. Okay, we're closing out our second day of riding up here in the San Juans. And I gotta tell you, it's been nothing short of amazing. We started out yesterday, we headed up over Corkscrew, Hurricane, California, and eventually Cinnamon down into Lake City. Then we took Engineer over to Animas Forks into Silverton. Had a heck of a rainstorm on the way back, got pretty soaked, but it was still a great day of riding. This morning we got up, we did Ophir and Imogene, and now we are back at the base of Corkscrew because we just want to go do it one more time before we head home because it's so much fun. So the 890, man, it did such a great job. I'm so happy with the way the bike performed. I honestly, I believe that all the mods that I did to the bike this trip really lent to the performance that I got while I was out here. If I had to say which mods I made the biggest improvement, I'd say it was a combination, honestly. One, the suspension, two, the ECU tune, and honestly, the seat. You know, if you're riding a motocross bike or something like that and you're on, you know, you're doing a day's worth of riding and you're going home, no big deal. But on an adventure bike, the seat makes a huge difference. You know, we had 30-mile stretches between some of these passes on the highway, and this seat really did make a huge difference. It makes it more comfortable when you're standing, and of course, it makes it more comfortable when you're sitting. It just crushed everything. I gotta say, I've ridden these passes many times with this bike as well before I did all the modifications. The suspension it just eats up everything that I threw at it. And at the end of the day, you're far less tired than you would be on a bike that is not built as well, right? Which, you know, if you're talking about adventure riding, you probably have another day or two or three or five to do after this 2-day trip, right? So being able to accomplish this stuff with less physical exertion makes a huge difference. I really can't just can't say enough about the suspension. The ECU tune, you know, especially like Imogene, there's some climbs on Imogene they seem just to be straight uphill, and you're going slow when you come around a switchback or something like that. You need the down low torque, and you don't need the bike flaming out and stalling on you. I didn't have any of those. It did stall on me one time, but it was kind of my fault. Otherwise, it just crushed it. So happy with the bike. Um, Last thing I'll say, Motage tires. I won't really run anything other than the Motage. These are the Tractionator Adventures or Ventures. I do like the Ralzs. I like the whole lineup of Motage tires. Um, the front is the Tractionator. Very good out here. So yeah, man, what else can I say? KTM 890 Adventure, already a kick-ass bike. With some modifications, even better. So if you have an 890 and you didn't buy the Rally and you want Rally performance, I highly suggest doing these mods. This, I believe now, is the ultimate adventure bike. It'll go anywhere and it'll do anything you ask of it, and you'll be comfortable while you're doing it. So, hey guys, that's it for this video. I hope that you liked it. If you did, please give me a great big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you get notified when I put out any new content. We are gonna hit one more run up Corkscrew because it's just so awesome. So we're gonna go tackle that real quick and then start getting ready to head back home.